often get emails of, from students or, people considering to be students of ours and not getting clients. And so one of the very first things that we'll do is check out their social media. And often what will happen is we'll look and they're missing personal posts, for the most part. They've let their personal profile become a business page. And that can lead to make it more difficult for people to get to know, like, and trust you. And so it's really important to still show who you are through your social media versus just conducting business all of the time.
This is the Online Trainer Show, Trainer Show, Trainer Show. This is the Online Trainer Show. We shouldn't have a podcast.
So there's a topic today.
We got a good topic today.
It's a good topic. And as a bonus, Keto's here. So that's a big deal.
1 in 5, everybody. What was Carol's response when?
Oh, that was so funny.
That person said that they listened to over 1,000 minutes of the podcast.
Yeah,
Ren was like, "Yo, that's." Amber was like, "That's over 18 hours." Ren was like, "They should have watched the Titanic 6 times." Carolina was like, "That's longer than I've been on the podcast."
I don't know that I've shown up for 18 hours of this.
Clocked more hours than Carol on this podcast. We'll send you her loonies. Expect a small payment in the mail with a Jonathan Goodman stamp on it. Jonathan Goodman's face stamp. So we're talking about social today.
Let's talk about it. I'm excited about this one.
Amber says she put it in the text, just the chat. I don't know how to read the chat here, so that does. I appreciate your efforts, Amber. But key social media behaviors to start doing today. There we go. I read it. I hit a button.
That title, I think, needs to be.
I said Jonathan title. Okay.
Okay. That's fine. When I did not see this, Slack that I'm supposed to review before the episode, obviously.
Terrible.
When said the title as if it was the final title, and I responded in kind weirdly. So
right, that's normal for you, Jonathan.
Basically, all's right in the world. If that happens.
Right. This is our normal process here on the show. So Keto, just to check in with Keto because it's like a Halley's Comet sighting. Or is it Halley's? I don't know. Halley's Comet, whichever. Keto is our celestial sort of event that streaks across the sky at random frequency. But when she's in the night sky, we make sure to look up and be impressed by it. So Keto, you're at the cottage right now. You've got snow. Is that correct? Is that what's going on in Canada right now? A bunch of snow.
It's funny that you mentioned that I'm like a celestial body crossing across the sky because yesterday we had a meteor go by here.
Really?
The CN Tower cameras got the boom of when it kind of like exploded in the air. And
really?
A bunch of people thought, it was pretty cool.
Crazy.
So yes, totally in line with what's happening here. That was me.
Absolutely. That was basically Keto showing up to the podcast. So the social media thing, we're going to talk about the social media thing. And Amber had we had a post, and I don't want to ruin Abigail. She told me that we messed her name up the last time we tried it.
Her name is technically Abigail.
Abigail, okay.
But right. I mean, she really goes by Abigail because that would just be super annoying to have to correct everybody to say your name properly.
She's given up. She has given up.
Well, it's a Hebrew name, right? It's not an English name.
Oh, okay. So we've whittled her down to a nub to renounce her own ethnic background. Yeah. So thanks for that. Abigail. Big A. We're gonna call her Big A. So Big A had a post in the in one of the groups, Online Trainer Unite, whatever, I don't know. And Amber saw it and commented on it, I think, and I think most of us probably saw it, maybe. But it was in regards to social media. And Amber, what was the tip that she gave in regards to social media? Because I guess that's a good place to start. Jonathan, you feel comfortable starting there? You don't know what's going on. You showed up here at the last minute uninformed. So I'm going to ask you if it's okay to say it.
I give my approval.
Thank you, Jonathan. Good talk. So Amber, go ahead. Can you just sort of let us know what happened with Abigail?
Yeah, we only spoke about how we were going to speak about this for 3 minutes, so I feel like we can speak about how we're going to speak about this for a little bit longer.
Right, a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Are we good?
You're.
We're good. Just take the lead. Yeah, take the lead. You got it. You got this. Yeah.
So she did a post because we often get emails of, from students or, people considering to be students of ours and not getting clients. And so one of the very first things that we'll do is check out their social media. And often what will happen is we'll look and they're missing personal posts, for the most part. They've let their personal profile become a business page. And that can lead to make it more difficult for people to get to know, like, and trust you. And so it's really important to still show who you are through your social media versus just conducting business all of the time. And we found that when we are personal on our social media, it helps with business as well. And so that was her underlying point.
Right. So what she was saying effectively was where are the posts about you, and mixing that in on your social media profile. And I think it's safe to say that all four of us here on the podcast, and Jonathan may not be the person who loves social media the most. He's accidentally gotten 20,000 followers on Instagram by consistently trashing Instagram and saying how insignificant it is. It's
not how insignificant it is. I say at best a waste of time, at worst an absolute evil for the world.
Well, okay, that's much better. Thank you for clarifying that, Jonathan.
I mean, I don't suggest that it's not a good marketing channel. It's absolutely a good marketing channel. I think most people who use it, it's not a good marketing channel because they're largely wasting their time on it and not using it effectively. But if you do use it effectively, it's a good marketing channel. It'll also bring you into such a deep, dark pit of despair that it might just not be worth it at the end of the day. But that's a whole another conversation we can talk about later. But,
that'll be episode 61. The deep, dark hole of despair that is Instagram. So we'll save that for next episode, Jonathan. Thank you very much. So somehow with that attitude, he's managed to muster up 20,000 followers, by the way. There's caveat to that story.
It has nothing to do with me adding value. Let's just
nothing
to do with follow me. I do not add any value
nothing
on
to do with
media.
that.
I don't follow that rule.
At best, you'll get one or two pics in that blue tank top. Which is, I love the blue, by the way, Jonathan.
Thank you. I think it brings out my eyes.
It does. It brings out your eyes.
Yeah.
So I digress. What I was saying was, if I'm saying anything at all, is that for the four of us here on the podcast, if you guys interact with us on social media, you probably have a good idea of what our lives are like. Is that by accident? I can't say for sure. However, things about us that humanize us. And one of the massive shortcomings, and we talked about this in the episode that got actually released, I guess it will be 2 weeks ago yesterday for them, and that was episode 57 or something like that.
Let's just stop trying to remember what the episode number is.
You're right. Well, it was about you're telling your story on social media.
Okay, so
this sort of offshoots from that because people are not going to hire your credentials. They don't know what your credentials are. First of all, let's just start there. Those letters, nobody knows what they mean. You can keep sharing them if you want to, but I can tell you, nobody knows what CSCS is or CPT or any, they don't know what that means. First of all, let's start there. However, people aren't going to hire you because of your credentials. They're not going to hire you because of your expertise, because of how professional your graphics are. None of that's going to get people to hire you. People are going to hire you because of your humanity. Because you connect with them on a human level. In the absence of that, it's just all marketing. And it doesn't work that well, quite frankly. The know, like, and trust you starts with the word know. KNOW. Not no means no, but knowing you. And if you don't ever give them anything to know, they can never progress to the like, and then subsequently never progress to the trust part of it, right?
So let me give a very specific, very pointed piece of advice there, because
Jonathan.
I love that point. I agree with it fully. Where you got to show up. People buy people. People don't buy training, people buy trainers, right? Somebody is going to sign up with you because of who you are, not because of how your training is originally. And then you start to get results with a lot of people, and then you start to get referrals based off your results. But how does this process start? It's kind of a catch-22. How do you get clients based off of results when you've never had any clients, so you don't have any results to show? And how do you get good enough to be able to get results if you don't have clients that you can get results with?
Right.
This is all a catch-22. So you have to figure out a way to get in front of people. And the way to do that is to appeal to them in a much more personal way on an individual basis than others can't, by showing your true personality. This is at the forefront of the Online Trainer Academy. We call it the 1% uniqueness. But the way to really accelerate this is to pick one or two few things about yourself that are like kind of funny, potentially irreverent, ideally have a bigger meaning, and make those things kind of your thing. And if you really want to get the most out of this, try to pick something that people see relatively often. So for me, it's my Casio watch, and it's that I only wear black V-neck t-shirts. And
true.
You will not believe how many times over the course of a day I get a message from somebody about Casio.
All the time.
It's at the point now where there are thousands of people who, whenever they see anything having to do with a Casio watch anywhere, they see like in Back to the Future, the watch that Marty McFly wears as a Casio, right? So they see a picture of that, or they see a funny thing where somebody has a tattoo of it, or they just like see it in like the edge of the corner of a picture, and they'll send me this picture with a big red circle around the Casio watch. Like, people are thinking of me when they see a Casio watch. And the reason why I love Casio watches so much is not that it's like it is the best watch ever for the best price, but it is a reminder to me about the importance of keeping things simple, about simplifying and building an eloquent business and life. The Casio was the first ever digital watch, and they literally have not changed for 50 years.
Right.
It is the same design and the same options. And I look at that and I say, okay, well, I'm too chicken shit to get a tattoo. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep something on my body to remind me of what I think is really, really important, which is break things down to its simplest pieces of what's really needed. What do you need a watch to do? You need it to be reliable. You need it to not break. You need it to be able to get wet. You need it to be able to set a timer, and you need it to have an alarm. That's it. That's literally it. That's all a watch needs to do.
Casio does all those things.
Casio does all those things. So it reminds me of that, right? So every time I look down at my list, it's basically like you see everybody, that has a tattoo on their forearm that's like breathe, simplify, right? All of these messages that are effectively their mantras. Well, like I said, I'm too chicken shit to get a tattoo. So what I do is I wear a watch that reminds me of what that mantra would be.
All those things.
I could tell that story, right? And it means something. And now it's not just a watch. Now it's a symbol. The idea with the black V-neck t-shirts, it's the same idea. Anytime anybody now thinks of merino wool, or they think of a V-neck t-shirt, they think of me because it's so ridiculous because I wear the same t-shirt. Well, the reason why I do it is because it's a reminder to me to reduce my decision fatigue, to not make as many decisions over the course of a day, and to make sure that the decisions that I do make, where I do expend my creative energy on things that I really need to expend my creative energy on, and eliminate everything else from my life. And that's a continual process, right? And so again, this idea of these two things that are like, a lot of people wear Casio watches, a lot of people wear V-necks, but I keep talking about them, and every once in a while, and I'll just like throw them into pictures. Like I'll tag an Instagram photo at like Casio Canada Inc. And they look like
And they look forward to it, Jonathan.
And people see that, right? And then every once in a while, I'll explain kind of the why here. And now anybody listening and paying attention that's like in the know, right, feels like they're part of the in crowd. And that's kind of what you want to do with people following your stuff. In every community, in every social community, there's always either a communicated or not communicated, but felt in crowd and out crowd. And everybody who's in the out crowd works to continually get into the in crowd and figure out what the rules are. So when they say an inside joke, when they understand an inside joke, they feel like they're in the in crowd. Now they feel closer to you. Now they've got sunk costs to being close to you. So, I hope that gives you like, what is it about yourself? And is there a bit of a story behind it? And can you start to tell that story? And like, it doesn't have to be every single time, but just figure out ways to just like kind of funny, put it in there and don't even explain it. Like I get messages every once in a while, people like, dude, what the heck is with this Casio thing?
Right.
Because they just have that, like there's clearly a void, right? They're clearly missing something. And now they want to know what it is. Hey, Jonathan Goodman here. This podcast is made possible thanks to people like you. Here's a quick word from our sponsors. Are you still trying to pick your online training software? If so, let me make this easy for you. Go with PT Distinction. It's truly the best, and I'm not just saying that because they're our sponsor. We actually use PT Distinction for our own online fitness business, online trainer coaching, and we're really happy with it. From onboarding to programming to client communication, PT Distinction has everything you need to run your online fitness business smoothly, and it's super simple to use. Now, normally they offer a free 30-day trial, but as a listener of the Online Trainer Show, you get a free 60-day trial, so you can make sure you love them before spending a dime. If you want to deliver first-class service to your clients while reclaiming your time, then visit onlinetrainer.com/PTD to sign up for your free 60-day trial today. If you're a fitness nutrition coach that's looking to master online coaching so that you can help more people, make more money, and have more freedom, then the Online Trainer Academy can help. OTA gives you the framework, knowledge, and support to have predictable success with your online coaching business. From marketing to business development to how to assess and motivate your clients online, it is constantly updated and refreshed to keep up with a dynamic market. Not only that, OTA is proven. In 7 years, we've helped over 30,000 coaches in 87 countries go online. Truth is, we know what works, so you can get right to the success part. And in case you're busy working a full-time job or you're a full-time parent, know that you can go at your own pace. There's no deadlines to complete OTA and you have lifetime access. That said, if you are ready to make a rapid change and finish the course in the next 8 to 12 weeks, you can expect to invest 3 to 5 hours each week on the program. And here's the best part. If you join today, you will make an extra $1,000 a month in 90 days, or I'll give you your money back. So if you're ready to build the fitness business you want and make the money you deserve, go to onlinetrainer.com/academy to enroll today. And I hope to see you in there.
This brings up another good point for maximizing sort of your social media for the folks listening out there. I can't overstate the need for consistency in what your messaging is on social media. Like the kind of things that you talk about. Like I know without a doubt that when it gets warm again in Canada, Carol's going to go into gratuitous bikini selfies. Like absolutely. I know that about her through her social media. You may think it's silly or contrived or unnecessary or whatever you think about it.
And Carol don't care.
Carol does not care, number one. But number two, it's something that I could, right.
Carol don't care. CDC.
Carol don't care.
That's the new CDC.
That's Oh my God, that's awesome. I love that. Carol don't care. I need a Carol don't care shirt. I want the silhouette. What's the silhouette of your bikini pic with the volleyball, your OTA pic? That's the silhouette that I need, like on the left chest, like the NBA
my
silhouette.
Favorite was the one that Carolina put up, like talking about how good she felt because she's been so active, and it's just this picture of her butt just sticking out.
Right.
And it's like
basically,
it's like this massive, like like anterior pelvic tilt, like butt out selfie.
But it looked amazing, didn't it? It looked amazing.
I didn't even notice because all that I was admiring was just the hardwood flooring and the baseballs in the house.
the extreme lordosis of a Catalina Bellomares photo shoot. That lumbar spine will never be the same again, Keto. But to that point, there is consistency across the board in who she is. Now that goes through the lens of authenticity, though, right? Like being yourself is your own superpower, but
own it. Own it.
Be that person. That's one of the other key factors of drawing people into your social media is don't try to figure out what people want. Like be who you are and be that out loud. Be yourself out loud on social media because it allows you consistency. If you tell the truth, you never have to remember what you said. It's just a great way to do your own social media. Oh, who was I in October? I can't remember. Was I a fitness person? Was I stringer tank top Ren in October, or was I sort of philosophical?
I would love to see
Ren.
Stringer tank top Len.
You'll never see it. I guarantee it.
I mean, going back to this idea of being true to yourself, it goes down to conversations as well. We've talked about my opinions on lying and dishonesty, and a lot of it comes from Sam Harris's work with his great little book called his little book is called Lying, which I definitely recommend. If nothing, it'll get you to think more about dishonesty and honesty and why you should always tell the truth and why white lies are damaging. But one of the main points is the amount of energy you expend not telling the truth or not telling people what you think. Because if you think something about somebody and you don't say it, now you're actually not engaged in a conversation with them. You're actually being disrespectful to them because a lot of your energy in that conversation is thinking about the thing that you don't want to talk about.
Right. This translates to your social media, believe it or not, folks. People's there's something in humans, and I don't know, maybe Jonathan can explain it better, but there's something in us that we're blatantly aware of an inauthentic representation of another human.
We can feel it.
You just feel it.
You know it. Yep, you know it. And it manifests. Here's something
it shows up.
Because there are people, I won't mention anyone, and I'm going to eliminate some of the specifics, so it's nobody would ever know who I'm talking about. But there are some people, colleagues who I've always gotten kind of a weird feeling with. I've never disliked them, but I'm just there's something they're hiding here. There's something they're protecting. When somebody, for example, is really boastful, we only brag, we only boast about things that we lack confidence in. Because the only reason to boast is to get perceived acceptance for a thing, is to gain that. You only really need and desire perceived acceptance for a thing if you feel like you're not good at that thing. Ain't nobody who can afford to pop bottles at the club is the person taking selfies popping bottles at the club. And so there are some people who it's interesting because, I've been in this game for long enough now that I've seen this pattern play out over and over again, whether it's somebody where it's just something doesn't feel right. I've met that person. I've seen their messages. There's just some weird, I can't put my finger on it. And then you start to see this stuff unravel over the years.
Right.
They have bad business deal after bad business deal after bad business deal after bad relationship after bad relationship. And it's never their fault.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? One time, maybe. But one of the main things to look out for, there's a whole different topic, but that's what we do here on the Online Trainer Show. But one of the things to look out for whenever you're engaging in business with somebody is what have their past business dealings been like? Right. If there's somebody who always says that they were at the bad end of a deal, it's their fault.
Pretty much.
Right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Like you can't, that just doesn't, I mean, maybe one time they had a bad deal, but you probably don't want to go into business with that person.
Absolutely.
You probably don't want to be in a relationship. Like somebody who is unfaithful 3 times before you is not going to change for you.
Right. You're the next victim.
The guy who's all of the ex-girlfriends are psychos. It's like, is it all those women or
it wasn't them?
I don't know.
It depends. If all of those women were fiery Latinas, maybe. But
the shade. It got chilly.
Shade.
Got chilly in here because of the shade.
Too much. Actually, for anybody listening to this podcast,
oh God, what did you
before
gonna say?
episode 1, when Carolina and I were talking about her being a part of this, we actually had to set ground rules of what about her I was allowed to share and what I wasn't. So,
here's a true story. I was at that meeting, folks. I can corroborate that they were saying terms that I didn't have any clue what they knew what they were talking about. There was. Can I talk about this location? No, let's not.
Let's not go there.
Can I talk about the banana holder? Yeah, you can talk about the banana
fine.
holder. Yeah, that's fine. Like,
but
there was
nobody knows why the banana holder is so funny.
There was a CVS receipt list of things that they discussed. In any case,
can I talk about ways to improve engagement, like revive engagement?
Yes, that's what I would like for you to talk about.
Yeah, okay.
Much. I have some thoughts here too. And we've got like 11 hot minutes to do it.
Yeah, so I'm going to talk about groups specifically, like your own Facebook group, let's say. Because we get this a lot. People are like, oh, I formed my own Facebook group. They didn't really know what they're doing. Another Facebook group is a ghost town, and there's just nothing going on. So I want to talk about just like 11 ways to improve engagement or revive a dead group. Now, keep in mind that these 11 ways are all ways to like basically revive it and get it going again. Mm-hmm. And then what Gwen's going to share, and I think Amber probably has some great stuff to throw in here too, are ways to continue to keep that engagement up. Mm-hmm. Right. So the first is just to ask better questions. Like most of the time you want your content focused on the group's mission, like getting in shape or whatever it is, but off-topic questions can actually be a great way to re-engage folks. Sure. And so like, what was the last book you read? Hey, share a pic. I do this every once in a while in our groups. Like, hey, what are you doing this for? If you want, like, share a pic of your loved one, share a pic of your family, of your pet, like you do. And then it's kind of funny because people put their kids, other people like put their turtle, right? Facebook Live is great. Facebook Live is a great way to just show your face, be a little bit more personal. It may not revive a group, but it's the type of thing that is really, really good to do continually. And it's also just good to like build up that skill of getting on live. I mean, if you've been listening to this podcast in the beginning, you can attest just how much better we've gotten at having seamless conversations. And I listened back to like one of the first episodes. I think I must have said 200 times. Go back and listen to the first episode and listen to how I'm speaking versus how I'm articulating myself now. It's completely different. It's night and day. And the only way to do that is to get your reps in. We're in episode like 50 something now. And like when we're in episode 100 and episode 200 and episode 300, Carolina's going to be at episode like 27 at that point. And we're all going to be that much better, right? That's just how it works.
I'm still marginally mediocre, and that is why, because I can't show up often enough.
20 episodes deep by the time we get to 100. Oh my God.
Next, number 3 is to run polls and tag people. So run a poll like, hey, tell me about the name of this program. Tell me about, what do you like more, squat or deadlift or whatever it is, and actually tag people into it.
Yes.
That are your clients or whatever, so that they will see it and engage in the poll. Planting people in your group to start conversations is actually a really effective way, because basically all that you need to do is you need to jumpstart it. And the way that Facebook works, Instagram, the same thing. If you get engagement very early on a piece of content, it will bump that piece of content up significantly for the lifespan of that piece of content. So one thing that you can do to jumpstart your group is to actually plant in maybe a couple clients, maybe even family members or friends, and be like, yo, do me a solid. Come into this group. I'm going to post at this time. Be ready to comment on it at that time really quickly. And all you need is 2 or 3, and then the rest of your group is actually going to see that because it's going to kind of be jump-started a bit. Asking for help in some way that is outside of your perceived area of expertise is one of the single, if not the best ways to generate rapport with somebody. Yeah. Pitbull, the esteemed Pitbull, in one of his songs, has a sage line. There's actually a ton of wisdom in this rap lyric. There's a lot of wisdom in a lot of rap lyrics, but he said, ask for advice. Ask for money, get advice. Ask for advice, make money twice.
Oh, nice. I like that.
Right? Yeah, we're all singing that song right now.
Yeah,
I remember one of the greatest ways that I built rapport with my existing clients when I was in-person training was I would ask them advice on being a father. I'd ask them for advice on understanding politics. And it's just a way, I mean, not fitness, because that's what I'm teaching them, but like asking for help in something other than that is a great way to engage people and build rapport. Include better calls to action, to say, let me know what you think. I'd love for you to comment. Like, how much weight do you want to lose? Hey, where are you reading this post? Where in the world are you? That type of thing. Obviously be more consistent. That goes without saying. Drive new traffic to the group. If you're continually infusing new people into the group, then you're always going to have new energy in there. Sharing personal stories of overcoming is really big. I mean, all 3 of my co-hosts here are really good at that. Me, a little bit less so, to be honest. But just because, I mean, I don't really feel feelings. Like we've talked about this over and over again. But for people who like feelings,
if you're into
sharing personal stories,
the rest of the planet.
Using holidays to boost engagement is huge. So, and it doesn't even need to be like Thanksgiving or Christmas or whatever. If you actually search up different silly holidays of the year, you'll get like this calendar, and basically every single day is like National Blueberry Muffin Day, All American Pet Photo Day, which are, by the way, both on July 13th.
Oh my God.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Wow.
So if you go to nationaldaycalendar.com, you can just find like the most ridiculous holidays and be like, hey, everybody, did you know that it's National Blueberry Muffin Day today? What do you like? What type of tea do you like with your blueberry muffins? I don't know. Like just a matter of just jump starting that, giving you an excuse to do it. And the final thing is just having fun with it. Like, I mean, what are we doing in this podcast, right? Have fun with it.
We never have fun with anything.
We talked about that in the episode that went live this morning. I mean, how we're sending PT Distinction 400 lollipops because they're a bunch of suckers. for sponsoring this podcast. Like, have fun with it. Right? Don't be so stiff all the time, worried to make a mistake, worried to look stupid, because I got news for you. You will look stupid, and you do look stupid to some people. And their thoughts about how you look is a reflection on them, not on you, and how they're feeling. And you need to show up in a way that's right for you, and that's fun. And when you do that, good things happen.
So true. For me, I would probably I give one tip about individual engagement, like, because one of the comments that we get a lot is nobody's engaging with my posts, right? Nobody's liking it. Nobody's following. People aren't responding. Number one, you don't know how many people like it from the likes. Ignore that. The metrics on the post are giving you no indication.
Talk to me more about that, because I think that's people are like, oh, only 2 people like my post. Oh my God, it's a failure. Talk to me about how many times you've heard from Online Trainer Academy students who have converted clients that have said, dude, I've been following your content for the longest time. I've been loving it. I'm down. Let's sign up right now. And you're like, you have literally never engaged with me.
Sir, I've never seen your name before on the internet.
Yep.
I didn't even know you were a person on this planet until today.
Yeah.
Keto, that's happening to you too?
Absolutely. On Instagram, of all places, which we know can be a soul-sucking black hole of despair, according to Jonathan. But it does happen. And that's just further proof that you can't ever forgo the basics, because the basics, whether you notice it or not, it's in your attention or not, the basics are what brings people to you. Absolutely. You being legitimate and just your authentic self.
Keto said the milkshake brings all the boys to the yard.
Yeah, and they're like,
it's better than yours. I can teach you, Taro, but I have to charge.
But I have to charge.
So
who is it?
So that's a song. It's a song.
Kellis.
Yeah, Kellis. Yeah.
That was a good song.
It was an appropriate song for the times.
What type of milkshake do you think it was a euphemism for some metaphor?
Yeah. We're all pretty clear, Jonathan, that it was a euphemism for something.
We all got that right from the start.
Yeah. But we're happy to bring you into the discovery that it was not a literal milkshake.
You are now in on the inside joke.
Yeah. Health codes won't allow you to make milkshake. No, you can't make milkshake in the backyard. It's against health codes. Nobody can get permits for that, Jonathan. It was something else.
Was it sexual?
Yeah. It was. There was a little bit of innuendo there, Jonathan. Yes, a little sexual innuendo.
Wow.
So my final point about the engagement is you can't tell what's going on, but your job's to put it out there, not to critique the metrics behind it. That's not your job. Your job is to continue to put it out there. The second thing for engagement is engage with people. When people tell me nobody's engaging with me, I say, how engaging are you? Who have you engaged with today? The conversation, the game of catch that is conversation requires you to throw the ball back. And oftentimes we take the social out and we just do media. That's not going to work for you. You're not famous enough for that. So block out some time, go through your timeline and leave some considerate, thoughtful comments on other people's social media pages. Because what we do is we put something up and we cross our hands and we say, look at me, peasants. And somebody comes by to try to talk to you, say, I don't have time to talk to you. Engage with me now. And that's stupid. It's stupid to do it that way. Like, are you ever commenting or responding to anybody else's content? If not, you're losing at the conversation aspect of social media. You've taken the social out, you've turned it into media, and that's why nobody's engaging with you. So when people tell me nobody's engaging with my content, my almost immediate knee-jerk response is, how much content are you engaging with? And I don't want you to go down the black hole, the pit of despair that is Instagram, but this will help you sort of curtail who you're following too, and go and make comments on other people. Make friends. Make nice and make friends with people by valuing what they do instead of always expecting them to only value what you do. It's not the way relationships work, and relationships trump algorithms across the board. You want to beat an algorithm? Build a relationship. Trumps all of it.
Well, the algorithm is built on relationships. I mean, it's built on
relationships. Exactly. That's what I was going to add. The more you interact legitimately with other people, you kind of like prove yourself to the algorithm as an actual human who is engaged in the platform, and they will boost your post. They will show your post to more people. So even for that, for the practical reason, do it.
Yes, well, and it's not, I mean, this is not me telling you, or Carolina telling you. Amber's not saying much, so she's not telling you anything, but it's not any of us telling you to like spend more time on social media. It's literally just when you are bored, probably on the toilet, looking through social media. That's where anybody does it.
That's my job.
We had an ad one time where it was just like a dude on the toilet, like looking at his phone. We had an ad for online training, and the amount of people were just like, yo, you got me.
How do you know?
I feel attacked. I feel attacked right now.
But the amount, but like, you're doing this anyway, right? Just pop down a quick comment just to be like, hey, good stuff, bro. Hey, that looks good. Like, it doesn't even need to, it's just something that you're commenting on, in some way. Like, instead of just blindly like flicking through the thing, and tell people that they did a good job.
Yeah.
Like literally like a colleague of mine wrote a good post yesterday, and all I wrote was like, dude, that's a great post. That's it. That's it. My work is done. I turn off my phone and go with my family for the night.
The mental energy you expend on social media never seems to amaze me, Jonathan. It's otherworldly. Cool story, bro.
Oh God!
Thanks for letting me know.
It's tapped out. So thanks so much.
I like to play a game with myself. In a minute.
Hey, hold on, Jonathan. I don't like where this is going.
One of my favorite things to do on social media, and you could play this game too, is pretend as if the person is posting this specifically for you and nobody else, and responding to them as if that's happening. So when somebody's like, oh yeah, I just did this today, it's like, oh awesome, thanks for letting me know. And then just walk away. I don't know why I get so much enjoyment from this, but
I know why. I think the rest of us know why, Jonathan. You're the most politely obstructive human that's ever been sent to the planet Earth.
I just play little games
the most
to keep myself
politely argumentative person that I've ever met in my life.
That's why I changed his name last podcast to the Chaotic Neutral.
Right. That's going to be the story. That's the title of his autobiography or biography. Jonathan Goodman, the Chaotic Neutral. I like that.
It's going to have to be an autobiography, bro. Ain't nobody I'm not ever going to be important enough for somebody else to write a biography about me. Let's be honest here. But I do have enough of an ego to write my own biography.
That is true. That's an authentic statement.
So again, to one of the lessons, just own it. Whoever you are, just own it. That's okay.
Be who you are. Once again, we've solved all your problems on the online trainer show. This was episode 60. That's a big deal.
This is 60.
We're old and wise now in our wisdom. Well, just wise. 60 is not old, especially in 2020. It's definitely not old. But we're wiser now, and in our wisdom, we presented to you whatever you just listened to. The train wreck you just observed is what we've done out of our wisdom. You can find show notes at onlinetrainer.com/podcast. I think that's 3 in a row that I nailed that. And we'll see you next time for episode 61. TBD.
It actually might not happen. If the internet works good enough in Mexico, we will see you for episode 61. If it doesn't, it's been a good run.
Go back to 1. Yeah, go back to 1. By the time you get back to 60, maybe we'll be back. Who knows? Don't take any forced road trips until then, because you won't have anything to listen to. We'll see you next time on the Online Trainer Show. Jingle. That was hard to get out for some reason. Jingle.
This is the Online Trainer Show. Trainer Show. This is the Online Trainer Show. We shouldn't have a podcast.